London's East End has changed since Jack the Ripper walked these streets, killing women. But just the mention of that name still leaves people with chills. There's a grim fascination that brings visitors to a museum with crime scenes and a drawing room supposedly like the killer's. Mere speculation, since he was never identified. The museum itself is causing another uproar. There were already calls for it to close over the earlier promise to focus on women's history. Now the protests are about its invitation for Halloween.
To have somebody sort of making a mockery of or glorifying violence against women in a very tasteless way by saying, come for Halloween, you know, meet Jack the Ripper, have your selfie taken with him and a mocked-up corpse of one of his victims. It's just going a bit too far for most people.
The museum says it wants to open people's eyes to what those women faced. Right now, this is in the shadow of London's railway, but back in 1891, this was a residential area, the kind of area that Jack the Ripper liked to focus on, liked to choose his victims in. It was poor, and the women usually had to do something other than clean in order to make a living. Many of them were prostitutes. Jack the Ripper chose them, killed them, and mutilated them.
I think most importantly, it kind of puts the context behind behind the murders. These were real women living, in East London 127 years ago, and they've got very interesting stories to tell, and actually stories that kind of relate to today's world.
Elizabeth's trash.
Their names and pictures are here, as Tina Roberts and her daughters find in a room detailing the police investigation. And it is an eye-opener.
If you don't know your history, you can't really improve, can you? So there is still quite a lot of violence and quite a lot of poverty in parts of London. So, sort of learn from it, really.
But there are also fake bloodstains and screams. Is it vile sensationalism, as the critics claim, or an important part of London's history? Either way, the focus on Jack is back. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, London.